Good morning. It's let's see, Friday 28th of April 2023, and I'm doing one more of these daily charts, but this time also weekly because it's Friday and we start seeing where the current week may be closing. So this sort of analysis on US markets and sectors. I'm Jukka from Option Investors Club, which I believe I've never mentioned before on these videos, but now I did. And let's get going. So S&P 500, where the hell is my mouse here? Weekly trend up on the current momentum, daily trend down. Yesterday a massive green candle, today the futures are a little bit red. Kind of the weekly and the daily are messed. We come out of a chop warning, bumping against resistance, hard to read. I don't know where this will be going. I was thinking that short term we're going to go down. I'm still thinking that maybe short term we're not going to go much higher than this area here. But yesterday's candle was pretty spectacular. Probably quite a bit thanks to companies like Meta reporting really solid earnings. Going to NASDAQ. Stronger chart than S&P 500. The bear cycle has been super weak. Now we're back at the highs, and there was a reversal warning on the current direction changes indicator yesterday. So what will happen, we don't know. The weekly momentum has been going higher pretty long time already, since the change of year, end of December. And I've been thinking that, yeah, at some point this needs to turn lower, because now we're kind of like creating a top, or a thing that could look like potential top here and so forth. But we don't have the turn on this momentum yet. We had the daily turn, and I was thinking that maybe this is where it turns. Maybe it's not. No idea. But it doesn't look like, well, of course, it's better to take a short when you're at the top than when you have already come down here. But shorting NASDAQ, I would have done it when the daily momentum turned, not necessarily now that it's already below zero and we're getting these reversal signals. Dow Jones looking pretty good as well. In a resistance zone, the weekly momentum has turned higher already 3 weeks ago, and now the daily went lower, but with yesterday's recovery it's not really that much lower anyway. So I'm not gonna do anything with any of these in the short term. I'm rather gonna wait for the falling daily momentum to be over to start to take that next bullish turn on the KM indicator and see what the weekly chart thinks at that point. If they're both aligned, it would be much easier to go long there than, for example, in a situation where the weekly is going down and the daily reverse is up. IWM, so the small caps, weekly down, daily down, big green day below all the moving averages. Why is my chart like that anyway? Now we see more of the price action. So that sort of chart, big chop, big chop, big chop, and daily turning down here below the moving averages. So on this big green candle around yesterday's close, I took an IWM short. The ideal timing would have, of course, been where we had the short trigger momentum turn somewhere here, but here I thought that the chart looks so weak overall. The weekly trend is clearly lower, and we had a big bounce. So going short, aiming somewhere here in this support area, and I don't know if it can break. I'm probably not going to play it that low because I've got an options position and I'll have already, I don't know, 200-300% when it's somewhere in this resistance area. So realistically I am not gonna see if this breaks. I'll just see if it can go there and take my profit out. So actually I haven't marked this, but it's a current position like so. IWO, that's the growth sector, sorry, not the sector, the growth companies, part of the Russell 2000 index. Weekly, last week's weekly color was blue. This weekly may close again bearish, so maybe there could be some more downside for the growth stocks. Volatility index went a lot down yesterday and now very, very slightly green today. The weekly trend is thinking about possibly maybe turning positive back again, like it did here, boom, and like it did here, boom. If it turns up, then I would be guessing that the whole markets are gonna mostly go downwards from there. Now it's still not there. So let's say if we have a big day today, I didn't check this yesterday or the day before. For example, if the volatility would close somewhere in this range, would the momentum turn? No idea. I don't know. Anyway, going to Bitcoin, has had a few very nice green days, now slightly red, but is this a lot? No, it's not. The weekly Bitcoin chart back to green after last week's orange color and a short trigger. So if we believe that this short trigger on the weekly would be a trigger to play, this would be a really good time to go short Bitcoin, because the price has moved higher from the trigger point, which was down here. So of course, if you're shorting, you want to short when the price is higher rather than when the price is lower. Sell the tops, buy the bottoms. At least that's what I'm doing. I'm not so much a trend trader, I'm more a reversal trader, which is why I've got this tool called reversal catcher system. Kind of makes sense when you think about the name. Ethereum, a clearer short in a way when you look at the momentum color. Didn't change back to green. Trigger last week. Of course, now is a better time to go short than it was on Monday. The price is higher. The daily, however, is pretty low already. Of course, it can go lower. And there was a long trigger a few days ago. So would I short Ethereum here? Maybe not. And anyway, I'm not really trading crypto, so I'm just like saying what I'm thinking. But I'm all about the markets themselves, the stock markets, the sectors, and then the stocks within the sectors. But I know that some of you are trading crypto, so there you go. XLE weekly, thinking about maybe turning back down now, and the daily is heading lower. I still have my what the heck is this, short strangle here, doing fine, pretty much in the middle. I'm gonna probably take my profits pretty soon on this one. Financials, daily down, weekly down. Daily turned a while ago here. That would have been the time to go short. Of course, if you missed that, if you want to go short financials, now is a better price than, for example, yesterday. XLB recovery day yesterday. I'm still in this short position that I opened here. So the price has been favorable for me. If this heads back down towards this 200-day moving average, I'm a happy boy. And if it keeps going higher, I'll probably cut the trade, because my expiration is in May 19th and we have less than a month left. I don't like the 30 decay on option positions, so if there's no further downside pretty soon, I'm gonna cut the trade. I've already taken most of the contracts off, so even if the last ones go to zero, I'm still on profit at total. But of course, I like to win more rather than win less. So yeah, thinking about cutting XLB unless we get some solid downside soon. Technology pretty strong, weekly still higher, daily lower, and daily already below zero, giving a reversal signal now. So I would be looking for this to dip and then for the momentum to turn and maybe go long. XLK, this is why I've got a green color here. It's on my long ideas list. XLU weekly higher, daily lower. I'm not trading this. XLI weekly lower in a chop warning area. The chart doesn't look very strong, but it doesn't look very weak either. Daily lower, weekly lower. The time to go short was here. It's not necessarily here. Same story as XLF. If you really want to short XLU, now is a better time than it was yesterday morning. But well, personally, I'm not going to do anything with this The time to do something with that was earlier. Like with healthcare, the time to go short was here, it's not necessarily here. Weekly going higher, daily going lower, even more reasons to be wary of shorting XLV down here. XLY, it's a long idea that I have. Weekly heading higher, daily kind of heading lower, but the price is not falling, which is why I'm interested in watching what the next bull reversal on the daily chart does. XLP. Oh, pretty strong chart. Weekly higher, daily technically lower on the momentum front, but not so much on the price front. I don't want to go long XLP right here, but I want to see how weak can the bear cycle be and then potentially trade the next bull turn, because the weekly just turned higher. It's not like we are at the end of a long run, but now XLP is pretty fresh, and that's why I'm thinking that this is a pretty strong long idea, and I flagged it green for that reason. Real estate, much weaker chart than the previous one, very solidly below all the moving averages. Weekly lower, daily lower. There's a daily chop warning, but the daily just recovered to more or less the same price as, actually better price for shorting, so higher price than what we had at the short signal here. So real estate shorts looks pretty interesting to me right here. I'm gonna see what I'll do with it today, or if I do something with it today. Maybe yes, maybe no. Ooh, telecommunications. And what do we have in here? Of course, Meta. Massive report yesterday. Weekly higher, daily reversal higher, but it's such a crazy reversal that I would love to have a dip here and then buy XLC. Looking so nice that I'll put a green color here. XBI, biotechnology, one of the rare stocks to have a sectors to have a red day yesterday. The reversal was up here. If you traded that, you're probably pretty happy now. Weekly was trying to turn blue last week, but now looks like it continues the downward move. And if you care about that kind of patterns, this is probably something like a bear pennant. That's what I think that it is anyway. XRT. I had a recent short on one of the stocks in here. Weekly lower, daily still lower. Daily price moving higher with a reversal signal. I'm already out of the short for a nice profit. The chart looks pretty weak anyway, so it's not like I would be super enthusiastic about a bull opportunity in this one unless the weekly chart starts turning higher. Because there are just like so many other opportunities that I like more. Home builders, I took a short here. And now this had like plus 3.4% move yesterday, and the weekly looks like if this keeps going like this, we have a weekly reversal coming soon. So I'm now feeling a little bit of pain here, but let's see what happens today. Yesterday's price action was pretty spectacular in a way that's not nice to me, but it must be nice for some other folks. Semiconductors, reversal trigger. If the daily chart turns, this would be a very very strong long candidate for me. XOP, daily lower, but there is a reversal warning. Weekly maybe reversing back down. This could be a chart to short. Let's see what happens with this daily here. Clean energy, a little recovery after a few days of extreme punishment. Chop warning on weekly, but the weekly color turning maroon. So who knows, maybe clean energy would be a solid short. And that's it. I've been mentioning the Meta chart a few times, the Meta earnings a few times, so let's take a look at how Meta looks. Plus 13.9% yesterday. Pretty damn solid move. On the weekly chart, there was a reversal warning color on current momentum. No reversal warning trigger, however. And now that color just got totally wiped out. So there you go. That's why many technology things and also the telecommunications sector were pretty green yesterday. I have no idea why the home builders went up. There was probably something else, and I didn't read the news so closely that I would know. But yeah, pretty spectacular day yesterday, and also a pretty spectacular week for Meta here. And that's, by the way, all thanks to yesterday. The beginning of the week was red, and then poof, there it goes. So the normal ending. If you want to have these tools, go to reversalcatcher.com/trial, take them out for a test run. $1 for 10 days and pretty affordable subscription after that if you fall in love with these, and I bet you do, by the way. And whether you try them or not, have fun, make a lot of money, and see you next week. Bye.